What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys, Nick and Xavier. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about Usman versus DDP and the middleweight division. What did that fight mean for the division, the contenders? Let's start with Saturday night in Oklahoma. It was a great card. A lot of stuff happened, but with DDP and Usman, DDP won by unanimous decision. He rocked Usman a couple times on the feet, looked really good, but Usman definitely looked like he belonged in there. He said he's willing to stay at 180 or go back down. What did you guys see in there?
I know what I didn't see knee cartilage off Usman. Um, yeah, I think that one, I don't think that Usman's done. Like if he doesn't want to be, but I think he kind of just should be. I think he can will his way to some wins. Um, but after what I just seen, to be honest, I'd be okay if he called it. Not because I wouldn't enjoy seeing him keep fighting and shit, but I just think his knees are so smoked. And like it's Usman. We know his knees have always been fucked. It's always been like a joke about him, and he's talked about it like his knees have been terrible for years, right? But from what I was seeing in there, it seemed like not only was it causing him to be like off balance a lot of the times, like he'd like have a shot available and kind of just stumble on his own knees. It really seemed like with how big his upper body is, especially with the added weight, like it seemed like his knees were just having trouble just alone, like holding up his body weight. Um, he did not look as sturdy as he looked in the past, and I think that it did lead to him getting hit with some shots that like he kind of didn't have to get hit with if he were to like have his feet under him better. It also just didn't allow him to wrestle very much at all. You saw the one blast double he shot, he got with ease and like lifted DDP like sky high, slammed him on his ass. And like that just tells me that like a younger Usman would have had a much better shot in this fight. Um, because I do think that the wrestling was there. It just kind of like at this point, Kamaru Usman barely can use that wrestling just because it probably takes so much out of his legs. Um, so while I did think that he did, I don't want to say surprisingly well because I knew he would make it competitive on some level. I did think he was going to make it more competitive than he did, and I think that the reason why he wasn't able to had nothing to do with anything DDP was doing necessarily. It's just like his own legs, his own body, kind of betraying him. Uh, for DDP's side of things, I thought that he was very patient in there. He wasn't as wild as I've seen him in the past. He did seem like he tried to tighten it up a little bit with the strikes, but he's still DDP. Everything still looked pretty clumsy. Um, he just was a lot more measured here, and I think it served him well. I felt like Usman wasn't able to really like put that much pressure on him until the end. But I think rounds 4 and 5, you can start to see like Usman starting to like build his confidence back up after getting rocked early. Um, I think he took took a round off to kind of like just mostly clear the cobwebs. But around round 3, he started having a little bit of a better round, and then round 4, he was coming on strong. DDP seemed like he was starting to gas out a little bit, especially round 5, but even in round 4 a little bit, huffing and puffing. And I thought that like a young Kamaru Usman could have, I don't want to say easily, but I felt like he could have like pressed on the gas a little bit more than he is capable of now. When he started to see the huffing and puffing, I thought that like, okay, now this is your chance to wrestle. Now this is your chance to like throw some strikes. DDP will wing like 4 wild shots, 3 wild shots, and then kind of huff and puff for like a minute. And it's like these are your opportunities to like stick the jab out or like throw your offense. And sometimes like he just was not in position to like land anything. So I don't want to tell him to retire. I think he still could beat a lot of these guys, but I think that like he can retire and be proud of his career for sure. You know what I mean? Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's the second best welterweight of all time.
Yeah, right. Nothing else to prove, bro. And he's said it for a long time. Like he needs to be fighting for something. He doesn't want to be one of these guys that just like sticks around with no like title aspirations or you know what I mean. Just trying to collect paychecks. He like makes enough money with the podcast and probably other ventures to like not really have to do that.
He can go to Raf.
He can no, he can't.
No, 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 no. Never mind. That wasn't even a troll comment. I swear. I literally
I
we were
mean,
talking.
in theory, right? But like, what's
Yeah,
crazy is like most guys when they age, their issue is the chin. You know, their issue is like getting knocked out or like their reflexes looking all extra slow. And I don't really see that much of that. You know, if anything, his chin showed that like it's as good as ever. You know, especially with the additional weight, it's got to be helping the chin a little bit. But I mean, he got rocked so many times in this fight, and like while I do think that like a lot of why he got rocked as many times as he did is just like his legs just genuinely being unstable, and like I think it takes him focus to like keep his legs sturdy in the first place. To where I do think that like some of the shots may have looked a little bit worse than they probably were in the moment because he did a little chicken dance. But I think that his legs were gonna do a chicken dance off any jab, to be honest, based on what I was seeing. But yeah, shout out to him. Um, Hell of a run, and if he wants to keep it rolling, like I'll be here for it, still supporting. Um, but then great win for DDP. Um, did what he was supposed to do, and showed that he's still here.
Um, I thought DDP whooped Usman's ass through the course of this fight. Um, the left head kick I thought was money the whole fight. Whenever he went to orthodox, like that left head kick was money. Stunned him, I believe, two of the five times throughout the fight with it. And the one thing, and look, I didn't think Usman looked bad. Like, I don't think it was retire bad.
Hmm.
But I think there should be somewhat of a consideration going back down to 170. Because, like, all those shots were just chinning him all over the place. And I feel like against a lot of other guys, too, who are just as big as DDP, can land shots that hurt him even more. And he's only getting older with age, so those are going to be like KO shots. I would personally prefer back at 170. I don't care though. I'm fine either way, but I could see him out wrestling a JDM of all people. Like I think
I
there's
guess.
more paths to. Yeah, yeah. I know you. He's not gonna stop it, but
I'm just
yeah.
not interested in that fight, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. Like there, it's an easier path down there than I think at the top of 185 is what I'll say.
Oh
Like the
no.
very top, the very top.
But look, Nick, my thing is DDP like not a big ass middleweight though? Like I think that like
He
he
got 5 0'd.
he probably walks around at like 230, bro. Like it seems like in real
He
life.
said 220. He said
Hey,
220.
okay. So so 230 if he's a cheeseburger, bro. Like, come on now.
What,
Like
10 pounds.
DDP couldn't make 170 with the leg cut off, bro.
what do
No,
you, what do you what do you think's a harder combo of contenders, DDP and Hamzat or Prates and Morales to get through?
DDP Homs.
Okay,
yeah.
maybe you are right then.
Yeah, because we have no idea. First off, Prod has proved in the JDM fight he damn near might have no takedown events, which makes me confident in Makachev beating him at least.
And quite frankly, I don't think that Usman does as well in the wrestling department against Hamza. One at 85, and two, like just with his knee. I think his knees are just worse now, bro. I don't think that they're getting any better.
You
Like
don't think the second fight would be as close?
I think it would look like right now we have this great image of Usman damn near going toe to toe with Hamzat and almost winning that fight, and look how good he did. And I think that like fighting him again would only ruin that image because one with more cardio, I think that Hamzat could dominate him in the wrestling even more.
Yeah, it's like 3 years later.
He's probably just better.
And
Later.
two, I just think that like based on what I just seen, like those knees are so smoked. Like I don't think that he can compete in the wrestling at all. It would not even look close to me. So I'm okay with not seeing that again.
Yeah. I mean, look, I thought DDP was just money, though. I thought it was the best performance of his career outside of the Strickland 2 fight. Like, just money on the head kicks. The knees were money in the second, especially, but throughout the fight. And the defensive wrestling was better. I don't think it got tested a lot. And once again, this is a Bilal JDM situation, Ed,
I don't think it is, Nick.
where we've come to a poor strategy, and this
It's
is
not a no,
comes
no,
out.
no.
I mean, that's where Usman chose to go this for the most part.
The thing with this one though, Nick, is I don't think that was a strategy issue. Like Xavier was saying, I just don't think Usman could wrestle anymore. I think it takes a lot for these guys
He
to
didn't
get
try.
guys like DDP down. Like it takes a lot.
He didn't try it. That was the first
He
part.
tried a couple times, but he had some really bad attempts.
Because he knows, bro. Like I don't think that like the thing about okay, I will say in general, right? When you think about like wrestling kind of styles, right? Even in his prime, like Hamza way more of a he'll get it by any means kind of guy. You know, like these Daggies, bro. Daggies versus American wrestling, like the Daggy system, like it's way more chain wrestling kind of. Even if you have like good first order takedown defense, like you can kind of like chain wrestle your way and kind of like at some point outpace these guys. Usman's like he that's never really been his style. It was always more so like smother you against the cage, work you down, like or like way more of a American style wrestling where it's way more like just regular double leg takedown, single leg quick takedown, like. And I feel like DDP, like when like Usman would get the single leg, but like I think if Hamza got the same single leg and like hoisted his leg, he can do a trip. He can maneuver DDP to the ground. Whereas like I just don't think that that was like Usman's bread and butter in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the issue. I just don't think he can physically do it. Like he
I agree.
physically can't take a guy like DDP down. He was just too much. But
So
yeah, I
why,
do see what
why
you're saying.
so why did some people say, well, Usman wrestling is going to be a factor? This I heard a bunch of UFC fighters, by the way. Probably Usman's friends. Like I get
No
their
one, no one goes like okay. No one really when they make, especially these fighters, Fighters are the last one to be like, this guy's fucking smoked. Actually, he's cooked. Um, these fighters never do that. Like they always pick, no matter what. They 9 times out of 10, if there's no layoff, they're always gonna pick as if it's the primest version of them. Like you know what I mean? Oh, is it Cody Garbrandt fight? Oh man, Cody No Love has so much knockout power in those hands, and when he's done, he can. Okay, when's the last time he knocked someone out? Like it's been a long time. You know what I mean?
That's
But
a
they're
good
not
point.
gonna when they make predictions, they don't think about like the current state of a person. They just think like historically, what is their game? Like people were like, oh, I did a bunch
the
of tape
champion.
study. People were like, I did a bunch of tape study on this fight and like to make this pick, and I'm like, you can't really do tape study on Kamaru Usman because all the tape is so outdated, bro. Like all the tape you're gonna watch, even the Joaquin Buckley shit, like Joaquin Buckley is as on the ground, like you know what I mean, and he's much
Come on, man.
smaller, like you know what I mean. Like that's not the same thing as picking up a big fucker who DDP's wrestling like got exposed by Hamza, but like
Only him.
historically, yeah, it's not like he's bankrupt. He's not JDM out there. You get what I'm saying? He's not completely bankrupt in the wrestling department, and
Okay.
like he's actually shown great offensive wrestling in the past. Like I think that offensive wrestling is one of his best skill set. So like if you can offensively wrestle, you can probably scramble around a little bit and make shit difficult. And the like because Hamzat had such a dominant like top control and really wasn't letting him scramble. And to be fair, think about it, he didn't even do shit in that fight. Like he was like even Hamzat, for all of the control he had to get to hold him down, he had to basically do nothing. Like even though he landed a bunch of rabbit punches and shit, and like was positionally dominant, but he was exactly that, positionally dominant. Like mainly 9 times out of 10 focused on holding him down. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was like getting damage off because I do think that even a Hamzat, were you to try to posture up and really do damage on a DDP, DDP's like a big fucking, he's explosive. He can pop back up. And now you're back stuck on the feet with this fucking freak of nature. So it's like I just kind of think that in general, like DDP, his wrestling deficiency was definitely a lot overstated, like going into this fight in the first place.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to let's do some matchmaking in the middleweight division, guys. Let's play a fun little game here. Let's make a ranking on the channel 1 through 5 contenders who deserves the next title shot against current champion Sean Strickland. Because there's no fight booked. Hamzat's calling out for the rematch on Twitter.
Oh, I got 5-5.
Yeah,
Also,
what does this list look like, and where does Brendan Allen fit in?
like 8.
Nowhere, nowhere.
Come on, guys. He's calling. He's been
God,
real active on Twitter after this fight.
bro,
He
he
he's
just
Edmund Shabazian, bro.
oh,
You get no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. For me, I'm telling you. Um, and I'm not even trying to shit on Brendan Allen, bro, because I do think that like he's done some positive shit recently, especially his upset over DeRitter. Before that, he beat
That
Vittori.
was huge. I forgot about
I
that.
mean, I mean,
good win.
ever since he lost to Fluffy in February of 2025, like he's been on a 3 fight win streak, and two of those wins are impressive. I just don't think that the Shabazian one is. I mean, Shabazian did look like he improved, but I mean, like
He used to be sick.
beating Shabazian just doesn't get you a title shot, bro. Like that is just I like that's the simplest way I can put it. Like, there's no way that that can be your last fight. You didn't even finish Shabazian, and you get a title shot. Like, so he's way out of my list, to be honest.
It's fair.
I have to say, like, number one, I think Hamzat deserves a rematch.
Oh my.
Based on one, what he did to DDP, and two, how close that fight was. I don't think it was the kind of fight where you should really take a champion's title away from them. Like, I would say that was like a 50-50 kind of fight, and I don't think in those kind of fights, like, you should lose your belt. Um, so I think that because of how close that fight was, it's really easy to sell a second fight, and it's not like they're out of the Hamzat business, the UFC. You know what I mean? Hamzat's still a big star, and he lost like his aura of invincibility, but he didn't lose that much stock in that fight. It wasn't like he got his ass whooped like Izzy did by Strickland. Um, it was like razor thin on the feet mostly, and it seemed like he had a bad weight cut. So there's a lot of positives for why you would assume that he could win a rematch against Strickland. So I think that that's the number one option, I would say.
okay. Who do you got at one, Nick?
Is Imavov. Like, here's the deal here.
But Imavov already has a loss to Sean. That's why I'm not. If it was a different champion, I would agree. But
Well, here's the deal of this equation here. Hamza Chimaev. Look, it was a close fight here, but 0 title defenses. We need an immediate rematch. I just Here's the thing: DDP defended the belt twice, and he has 2 wins over Sean Strickland. He deserves more of a rematch right now than Hamzat after like that fight was like shit. Like it was a shitty split decision. So I just feel like give it to Imavov. I I get he lost to Strickland, but it was a long. It was like 3, 4 years ago. I mean, I think it's fine to run that. In the meantime, you give Hamza like j- just give him like Ohio and run DDP Brendan Allen because he's talking so much shit on Twitter, and he can come get some. I never seen him be a good fighter in his life, but he can come get some. I think that's the fights to make. Like I just feel like Hamza, like I get he dominated DDP, but outside of Izzy Anderson Silva, I don't know most middleweight champions in the last decade to win two title defenses. I couldn't name them.
I think Weidman.
I don't think Whitaker did it. Weidman didn't do that.
I think he got two title defenses.
One defense. I'm
Who-
just saying one. He won one defense, Ed.
Okay.
Whitaker?
I don't think Whitaker did.
I feel like Whitaker defended that bitch a
He
couple
might
times.
have, but
I don't think he did.
I think
I'm
Whitaker.
just saying, like most title defenses outside of Izzy and Silva, though. I'm saying, like, and that's it. Like, and I just I don't think DDP should even get in next. Really, I think if he got the knockout versus Usman, it would be different. But I just don't think it should be Hamza. Like he lost kind of a boring fight out there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like just give it to Imavov. I feel bad for it. He's just waiting around there, like not fighting anybody right now.
That's
I
his
just
fault, man.
give him the matchup. It's a matchup Sean can win, who I would assume the UFC would want to win in that case. So I don't see why they wouldn't run that. I think those matchups I just named, I think those are it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna slightly agree with Xavier. Actually, I think Hamzat should get the rematch. First of all, it just did bonkers numbers for the UFC. The buildup was epic. I know they kind of
They
the
hugged
trash
it
talk.
out. They hugged it out,
Yeah,
by the
they
way.
hugged it out, which is kind of lame. But hey, they can run the beef back. Also, listen, Imanov does deserve it, but I'm so tired of like watching these podcasters act like he's just getting robbed in broad daylight. We've seen much worse cases of people getting skipped over. Imanov should freaking fight someone. But if I had to predict, I think they'll do Imanov. But I think they should do Hamzat next. But regardless, that's one and two. So we'll do Hamzat one, Imanov two. Who would you guys put at three?
It's DDP easy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
Right.
just need one more
DP.
realistically.
And
Yeah.
I'm actually like you. I am down for the Allen fight, like you said, Nick.
Yeah. He's
'Cause
talking all this shit on Twitter, by the way. Like, oh, he's still at like Brendan Allen, bro. You just fought Shabazian, bro. Like, I don't even want to hear this competition
the
bullshit.
Ritter win was huge though.
It was nice. It was nice. Dorito right now ranked number 8 now. Like, like we're acting like that's a massive win. Like he ain't even fight. I think Bohio beats him bad.
It's a good fight.
Like let's see Bohio fight him. Like I don't know, man. It's a fake number 4 ranking if I've ever seen it in my life.
Talk to me, guys, about Joe Pfeiffer.
You talking about Piper?
Yeah,
Piper's
how do we feel about him right now? He should be fighting on this Philly card. He's from Philly, but he's not. He does not have a fight announced.
no, I thought he find I didn't find somebody.
I don't
No,
believe so.
maybe it got canceled. I thought he was finding somebody.
I do think that even though Piper's ranked 4, I do think that like Ohio a little bit more deserving of like being getting the title shot ahead of him. Um, and if they wanted to run that fight just to prove it, like I'd be fine with that as well.
That's a great fight too.
But I would rather see Ohio fight like even a fucking DDP, bro. Like fuck it, like if let's see if DDP can like hold off of Ohio, which I think he probably could. I would pick Ohio. I would cheer for Ohio in there for my own agendas, but like I would favor DDP in that matchup, and like that would just. I do think that like getting a title shot after like beating someone that's not even in the division, and they didn't even look great on the knee side of things. Like, I don't think that just should warrant DDP getting another, like the next title shot without having to fight one more time. He didn't take any damage in that fight for the most part. And so I do think he can probably get in there in a couple months. And I think he should probably run like a Ohio or even a Piper, but I do think that like somehow, even though Piper is ranked higher right now, I do think that like I rate him as a lower contender than even Fluffy Hernandez or Ohio, to be honest. So
Damn. All right.
I forgot Piper.
just
Even
just just in terms of the fact that he just like caught a slipping Izzy, you know what I mean? If that makes sense, Ed. I just
Definitely.
I think it's like Izzy was just, even though Izzy, like he's still a fiend, you know what I'm saying? He's still an all timer. He's my middleweight goat, but like at the end of the day, like Izzy right now, his chin is just not what it once was. And I think that he is the vulnerable guy that like even if you're out skilled, you can probably just like catch him with something, and that's basically what happened. Like Izzy just completely was whooping Piper's ass, and then he kind of just kept hanging his chin out there in front of him because he got too confident and just like thought that this was fucking 2016 again and shit, 2018, like. And I just thought that like Piper did not look great in that fight, and so like I would kind of favor a lot of these other guys to beat him. So that's why even though I'm not gonna say his number four spot is not warranted, I just think it's like a little bit overrated for him. You know,
So who would you have at four? Ohio, you said?
I would put Ohio next just because he did just beat DeRitter. Um,
That's fine.
and his only loss was to Imavov, who we're saying should get a title shot. So it's like I don't
Okay.
think that is the biggest, like losing to Imavov is the worst thing in the world, and like he bounced back with a what I view as a quality win over DeRitter. Um, so I do think that he deserves not a title shot, but like a chance to fight up in the ranks, and whether it be a Piper or DDP, like I think that they should run that.
Who would you have at four, Nick?
uh it's a toughy
It is tough.
because I feel like Ohio's next opponent might be someone better than him.
It should be.
So I think he might lose. If we're going off right now, I would say Ohio 4.
Okay.
And then I would go, but I would say Piper's right behind them, just in terms of like punching power, wrestling. I think the gas tank's a big issue, but in terms of popularity and skill, like I think Piper would be right up there. I think he had a fight with Fluffy. I think he pulled out of that. And
Yeah,
now
I don't know if I would even go for him. That's my thing, and I think that like for me, I would, all due respect to Piper, but like I would also put Brendan Allen at my five spot just because for as much as people shit on him, like the man does only lose to like pretty good fighters.
oh,
Um,
also Chris Curtis off 3 days notice.
hey. First of all, he won. Second of all,
The decision.
the action man. Hey, I know, but the action man, he good in there. Like, come on now. Like,
He was like 42.
hey.
Oh,
He
All
was old. Like, was he not? Like, okay, sorry.
no, but I'm saying like after that though, like even like beating Vittori is impressive. Like Vittori, he always a tough out in there. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna make it easier for anybody out there. And then it's like being DeRitter, finish DeRitter, convincing fashion. Like I do think that like even though like we are all now kind of down on DeRitter, like he's still DeRitter. You know what I mean? Like a second ago, you were just calling for this man to have a title shot, and that is still an impressive win for me. I think.
It's his only good win on the docket. I'll give him that. It's his only good. He just fought Shavazian. Like, after you fight him, like, I think you need a minimum, like, 2 fights before a title.
No, it's fair.
And I
Yeah.
feel like Pfeiffer, like, look, if Pantoja getting this easy title run by getting Kaya Sakura out of Ryzen and, like, Steve
Oh,
Erceg at number 10 in the world at the time, like, why not throw Joe Pfeiffer into the mix? Like, I
Oh
think
my
he's
God.
more,
Your time
like,
will come, Nick. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry, man.
I'm just saying, man, like, did he not get those opportunities? Like, was I missing something? And it's because that's how the division played out. Towards the top, he had beaten Royval and Moreno multiple times, and they had to look down in the division. So Pfeiffer to me would be five. Like Brendan
I'm
Allen,
with that.
like I just he beat RDR and that was it. Like that's where he is right now. I
my
believe he's like 2-3 in his last five or something like that.
look. I'm not gonna overly disagree with you. I'm just saying, in my mind, a big reason, like, even though I think that Izzy is a more impressive win still, even at this phase, the way Izzy lost that fight, actually just dominating it. I did not think Piper looked great until Izzy literally just put his chin in front of his face. Piper could barely stand, couldn't really even move that much, and Izzy just wants to dart in with his chin, like hanging his chin like right out in front of Piper for him to like land something and like change the momentum of the fight. But I just think that, like, were that to not happen, I think that Piper was on his way to getting like pretty handily outclassed in that fight, and I just don't think that, like, I saw enough off of Izzy just being literally dumb in that moment to justify him just beating any of these other guys that he's around. To be honest,
I get what you're saying. I think Piper definitely needs to improve more, and I think he is improving more after fight. What gives me a lot of confidence in him is like his finishing ability. But yeah, I would put Bahia over him probably too, and him at five. So that's our top five. Um, Shout out CLD. He moved up in the rankings over the weekend. I think he could be serious, man. Like he got to tighten some things up, but he's clearly really flashy, fun striker. Usman unranked moves to 11 at middleweight. So that's dope. What is he at welterweight?
that CLD IQ is kind of piss poor, and
The spinning?
one the spinning, two he absolutely tried to just do a foul illegal knee. Like he tried to literally clean
His
Kennedy's clock
Some
with
Peter Yan shit, bro.
some
Fuck it.
like. I'm like, bro. I told Gabe I'm fucking with Gabe. I'm like, bro, no, fuck that. Like he knows English, bro. Like you know the rules, bro. Like there's no way you don't know.
London, yeah.
Like fuck are you doing, bro?
He's
Almost
so funny though with all the spinning.
almost fucked the parlay up with that. I said, yo, okay, he missed, but like
his
he certainly went for it. So like bad IQ there, and like again, yeah, with the spinning shit, like how he was like gassing himself out unnecessarily. I thought he could have way more handily beat Cannonier, and it was looking for a second like Cannonier was gonna come back and whoop his ass. So it's like he does need to have work to do, but like
he's
shout
fine.
outs to him though. He is like improving.
think he's serious. Yeah. All right, though, guys. Middleweight is heating up. We got some big fights in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Please go check out the TikTok. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.